Hi there everybody, it's UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator Halsey here from slimandstylish.stampinup.net. Thank you very much for joining me today when I'm going to be sparkling, shimmering and shining with the Stamp Around the UK video hop team. So at the start of each month I join some very talented friends of mine and we all create a theme of video hops. If you go to the description bar you'll be able to get to all of their videos. Do go and hop along and see what inspiration they have had with the sparkling, shimmer and shining theme. What an apt theme before Christmas is that, I love it. Right, I'm going to get started. I'm going to be using the Fond of Autumn Photopolymer stamp set because I love this one. You can get it from my store, slimandstylish.stampinup.net. Don't forget to use my hostess code and you get a special little gift from me. So I'm going to be using my Stamparatus for this one, and I'm going to be trying a new technique to me. It's not a new technique, it's a new technique to me. And I'm going to need my Stampin' Up Stamparatus grid paper. This is amazing. I use this so much more than my ordinary grid paper whenever I'm using my Stamparatus because it just covers my foam mat. I do love the deluxe foam mat, but I never want to get it dirty. So I'm just going to pop that in. And I'm going to pop my card base in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up just there. And so I remember, and I'm going to need to remember in this, I am just going to grab my pen and I'm just going to remind myself that that is the top left. Okay, and I'm just going to pop a dot in that corner just so I remember. No one else will see that dot on my card, hopefully. So that when I line this back up and put it back in, I get it in the exact right spot. Okay, because I'm going to actually do this twice. So the plan of action is I'm going to stamp this gorgeous, great big stamp that I love. I think it's beautiful, across the middle of this card like that. Okay, and I'm going to stamp it. Then I'm going to colour it with my blends, and then I'm going to heat emboss over the top. Oh, silly Stamparatus, pop that down, thank you. Remember, top left, line it up. So for all intents and purposes, I'm going to be stamping it twice like I would do if it was in here anyhow. But I'm going to be taking it out in between and then putting it back. Okay, I'm just going to add some more magnets. Now this isn't usual. Normally you get a big magnet. My magnets have stuck together. I'm broken because I'm daft because I let them stick together. So I'm going to be using Sahara sand. But actually what I'm going to do, because I totally forgot, is I'm going to ink that up, but I want to ink it lightly. And you can see I've added loads of ink to that. So I'm just going to grab a piece of copy paper, pop it on top and take the initial hit off because that's quite dark and I want it light. Okay, let me just move that magnet and stamp it down. Now I'm just going to push all over this because I already know it's going to be quite light because I've stamped it off once, but I want to make sure that I can see where I'm going to be colouring, and I can. You can see it hasn't given me a massive outline, but it's given me enough to go with it. So now I'm going to throw a load of colour at this. I'm going to do a proper blending job, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to heat emboss it. Okay, so what I'll do with this is I'm just going to speed the video up slightly. I'm going to stop talking to you while I colour it in, and then when you come back I'll tell you which colours I have used to colour in the different sections, but it saves you having to sit and watch me colour. Okay, enjoy. Okay, everybody, so that's me all coloured in. I do apologise, I've actually just noticed that one of my lights isn't on, so hopefully that was nice and bright and you could see it. Let me explain to you the colours I've used. So the colours I just used was Mossy Meadow, dark and light, and you might have noticed through speeding through, I have a problem with my dark Mossy Meadow, as in that this is quite loose. I knocked it once and it breaks, and I always forget and the middle falls out. If you ever have one like that, it's dead simple. You just pop the middle, because they just lie in, they're not messy, they're in a tube. Pop the thing back on and stick it down. So if ever you have that problem, that works dead easy. So I used Mossy Meadow, dark and light there. For the flowers, I used dark and light polished pebble, polished pink. I was trying to say polished petal and I knew it was wrong, so it was stopping me. And then I put ivory over the top. For the centre, I used dark and light daffodil delight. And then I used the light soft suede around the sides. For the acorn, I used light and dark soft suede for the top, and then I used light and dark crumb cake for the middle, and I'm running out of table here, can you see? For this ones here, this was light and dark soft succulent, light and dark old olive, light and dark poppy parade, and a light and dark soft sea foam, light and dark soft succulent. Okay, so hopefully I've got all of those there. And I didn't do the swirls because they're going to be picked up by this silver heat embossing. So where we're going to go now is I'm going to take my embossing buddy. Just going to run over that. Okay. Then I'm going to sort of do where my fingers were, but I'm not going to really stress over that because I can always brush that off. Always keep a paintbrush or something quite handy when you're doing embossing, I find. Okay. Let's bring the Stamparatus back in. Put my top left back in where it should be. Uh-oh, that's how they all broke the first time round. Put my magnets in to hold it down. The one thing I probably also should have said was you want to have your chamois close by so you can clean off the Sahara sand we had earlier, because you don't want any of that going on. You want this to be your Versamark. So now we're going to pop Versamark onto here. There's my stamp case to get a clear stamp. Ink it all up with the Versamark. I'm going to do this twice because I definitely don't want to miss anything, and I can't see when I use Versamark whether I've got it or not. Okay, so that should be in the right place, and you stamp it down. Okay, like I said, I'm going to do it twice. Over again we go, hoping that we've got all of it. I'm sure we have. It's my eyes that just let me down sometimes. Back over and give it a big push, big push. Oh, put my lid back on my Versamark before I create a mess. And then where I'm going to go with this now is I'm just going to fold my scrap piece of paper I used earlier over. Take my image out my Stamparatus. And then I'm going to be using the silver embossing powder. Now, you heard me say earlier, always keep a paintbrush handy. I use one of these fan paintbrushes, and the reason I do that is I can just get the little specks of embossing powder that was on there off. I don't want them stuck on there. Okay, and there we go. Just move that off before I knock it, because we all know I'll do it. And then you just want to heat cool it. So give me a few seconds, because this is going to get loud, people. And we're done. Now let me tell you, that's sparkling, shimmering and shining lovely, but I'm going to grab a piece of cardstock that is the same size. Let me show you. Same size. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop 1/2 centimetre off this at both the top and the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to line that up, and it's going to get rid of that dot that was on there. I told you we wouldn't see it at the end. I'm going to take 1/2 centimetre off the top, and I'm going to take 1/2 centimetre off the bottom. Okay, I now have, and this is absolutely gorgeous, I have the washi tape from the mini catalogue. So here it is, and I've got it in the greeny yellow colour. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this onto my cardstock. When I find the end, come on, end, 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 end. It's a problem because it's coarse. It's quite hard sometimes to find the end. There's no end. There it is, I can see it. Ha 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 ha, I found it. Right. And what I'm going to do with my snips is I'm just going to cut a piece that's slightly bigger than my paper. And I'm going to stick this across the end down here. This is really adding that shimmer and sparkle element, isn't it? And I'm going to fold that over. And fold it over so it's stuck onto my card base. And I'm going to do exactly the same at the top. I'm just going to turn it round so that I can actually see that I'm getting it straight, because otherwise my eyes and the lights in here and the shadows play tricks with me. There we go, fold that over so that when I actually put this on top of this, why it will line up perfectly on the sides, it's going to have some shimmer at the top and some shimmer at the bottom to help with this really shimmery effect we're going for. So I'm just going to grab some liquid glue for this. Liquid glue is going to be much more preferable to use because it's going to keep it in one place. It's going to keep it stuck down. Because the heat embossing has slightly warped my cardstock, that's perfectly normal, and that's why you add the extra bit of glue on so it all sticks down. I'm just going to pop some glue at the top bit here so that it sticks to the adhesive, the glittery bit as well. Okay, line that up and stick it down. Going to use my bone folder and make sure it's stuck down really, really well. Okay, I'm going to grab my card base next. Fold that over and burnish it. Okay, and because my original cardstock was the same size, it's going to go on really nice like that. Okay. I'm going to use my liquid tool as well for that. I'm not going to stick it up on dimensionals or anything because I've still got my sentiment to put on. Okay, and I've just thought for some extra glitter and sparkle, I'm going to use my Wink Stella brush. I'm just going to give it a good squeeze so I've got lots and lots of glitter going to come out of it. And I'm just going to go over certain parts of the image. So at the moment, I'm just going over these leaves because to me, these are sort of the biggest part of the image. I'm just going to go over those and the centers of the flowers. And I'm going to go over my berries. Then I'm going to use my pearlized enamel effects because these are going to add some shimmer. And I'm just going to pop these as little dots over the background of the card for some texture. Is that all I want? I want a few more. I'm going to pop some down the bottom here. 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to move those off to dry while we work on the sentiment. So for the sentiment, I'm just going to grab a piece of scrap basic white and I'm going to stamp my sentiment down. The sentiment I'm going to be using is Just a Note here. And let me grab that. Now it's up to you if you wanted to do this in shimmer and glitter and everything. I'm not going to. I'm looking at it. I was going to heat emboss it, but I'm actually thinking to myself, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to grab my Pear Pizzazz, or am I going to grab, no, Old Olive, trusty Old Olive. And I'm going to put on there Just a Note. Get snipping. Now you could use your trimmer if you haven't got a straight hand, but I know my video's kind of already going on a little bit on time, so I'm just going to snip it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go just a little bit longer on this side, so you can see that I've gone about 1/2 centimetre more. I'm just going to snip across there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up again on the straight edge with my sparkle. Going to pop a dimensional on the back of there. I'm going to take one of our big size dimensionals, cut it in half and spread it along there so it sticks. And the reason why I haven't stuck it directly onto the washi tape is because I wanted just a bit of card for it to be stuck to, because it doesn't always stick to the glitter as easy as you'd like it to stick. And then cut through both with just, yeah, I quite like that. just, oh, I love that actually. So let's pop some glue on there. I'm going to stick this bit straight and flat onto the card. Stick it on just there, and you can't get much shimmery, sparkly or shiny than that, I don't think. Look at it go. It is proper glitz, that one. What do you think? Hopefully you've liked it. If you have hopped across from someone else's video, thank you very much for hopping over. Please do subscribe, come back and see me again. Don't forget to hop onto someone else's and see what they've done with this. And I will see you all again soon. If you've liked any of the products I've used, you can buy them from slimandstylish.stampingup.net. And all purchases are really welcome. So thank you very much. Bye everyone. I hope you've enjoyed today's project. All items that I have used on this video are available to purchase from my store, www.slimandstylish.stampingup.net. Alternatively, if you would like a copy of our catalogues, please send me an email to slimandstylish@live.co.uk or leave me a comment below and I'll get in touch with you. I upload regular content to this channel, so if you do enjoy watching my tutorials, please make sure that you have subscribed and rang the bell to get notifications when new videos go live. Thank you for joining me and have a lovely day.